Good morning. I'm John Bitson, the Menard Family Director of the Sheila and Robert Challey Institute for Global Innovation and Growth. This morning, I'd like to introduce you to Eric Asa. Eric is an Associate Professor of Construction Management and Engineering at ndsu and a Faculty Fellow in the Challey Institute. Welcome, Eric.
Yeah, thanks. I'm honored to be part of the Challey Institute. It's very important to me. I had one of my degrees is in economics, and I've been always interested in natural resource economics. Yes.
Well, great. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're excited to have you part of the team. So, Eric, you're doing some very interesting research for the Challey Institute related to oil taxes in North Dakota and worldwide, and differences in the way that oil is taxed. So, what kinds of questions do you aim to tackle with this research?
Yeah, the main question that I aim to tackle in this research, it's whether the tax system that North Dakota is using is efficient. And I mean efficient in terms of economic efficiency.
Okay, great. And so, could you talk a little bit about the type of impact that you think this research will have on society?
The impact is this, that oil and gas as natural resources are exhaustible resources. So, under normal circumstances, society should benefit from it in one way or the other from taxation. But what it is that at the end of the day, if the tax system is not efficient, then it affects the market. Right now, the tax system that we have is based on wellhead taxation, which is several taxes that is used by several states. But if the oil prices collapse, there's essentially most of these companies have to shut down because of the fact that they can't afford to produce. That's one aspect of it.
Right, and you've talked a little bit about in our personal conversations about how the costs of producing oil in North Dakota are a little bit higher in terms of upfront costs, and so companies might be disincentivized from investing because of the fact that they know if the oil price goes down, they're not going to recoup their costs. Is that correct?
Yep. In North Dakota, we are using fracking. In oil production, it's one of the basic things. It's the you drill the well, you find an oil production, you drill the well, you put, if it is producing, you test it, and all those things you put in your production system, and you start producing. That is what is going on in Texas and in places like Wyoming has some of it, and other places. But in North Dakota, you have to drill the well, and then you also have to have additional costs in terms of fracking. So at the end of the day, your cost, your upfront investment or cost is higher than in Texas.
Okay, yeah, very, very interesting and important. So are there additional questions that you'd like to answer with this research in the future?
The additional question that I want to answer is how to stabilize the industry. That is, at the end of the day, whether we'll be able to produce the oil that we have for a long period of time, and also in terms of market efficiency, whether the market is in North Dakota, oil and gas market in North Dakota will be able to actually sustain the level of jobs that they have right now. Because when the oil prices collapse, within a short time, most of these companies had to shut down. And that is the flip side of what I'm trying to do, to make it sure that at the end of the day, you have a system that even if the prices go beyond a certain level, you can still be able to produce and sustain the number of jobs that we have.
Yeah, excellent. For North Dakota, the oil industry is super important, and your research is super important. Super excited to find out what you find out in the future, and I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me to talk about it today, so thank you.
Okay, thank you too, John. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, and I appreciate it. So,
Yeah, appreciate having you. Thank you.
thanks.